remembering that it is only football, it is still very disappointing to see the Ravens go down today and watch their record rest at 3-3. A lot of places you could point the finger in terms of blame for the loss. Fact of the matter is there wasn't too much in terms of bright spots today, I didn't feel overall. I'm going to start with the general manager, Eric DaCosta, which may seem a bit far-flung, but hang with me. Hayden Hurst, he got rid of him upon his request to be traded. Did not replace Hurst in the offense. Went through the draft, went through the offseason, did not replace him. There were tight ends that I felt, for whatever that's worth, in the draft that he could have replaced him. I feel he should have replaced that position. Harrison Bryant comes to mind. I believe he was available in the 5th round. Could have been the 4th. In any case, that's his job. Considering that the Ravens had run a successful offense the year before to refill that position. If you consider that just an oversight or something that you might learn from, he did not replace the right tackle that we lost in Orlando Brown. I think he attempted to. As it turns out, it was insufficient. So you see that back to back. And now we're seeing that with Marquise Brown. Again, in each of these instances, all 3 players apparently requested a trade. I'm not sure that means you have to trade them. Perhaps there's a middle ground or a sitting down and a meeting of the minds where you convince them to stay. But accepting the fact that you're going to deal them, you have to replace that position. As the general manager, he's got to make sure the quarterback has enough weapons, not just to satisfy those who want him to throw the football all over the place, but to keep defenses guessing, to keep them honest. Would it have been worthwhile, without having been privy to any of these conversations, to sweet talk Marquise to keep him here? Maybe it was more about the money for him to get out of town. In any case, not to replace him somehow or the other is really beginning to hurt this offense and to show on the football field in how teams are defending this team. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this defense. There's something missing for sure. There's something wrong when you're melting down in similar fashion in all 3 losses and blowing leads of 10 or more points. Some level, it is an issue of talent. I mean, look at what's on this team defensively. You have a great corner in Marlon Humphrey, a great corner in Marcus Peters. Although I'm not sure Marlon is best suited as a zone corner. I haven't watched enough, to be honest, to see how they're using him differently. But up front, they've got a player who's playing very, very well in his 3rd year, but they're not getting pressure on the quarterback, and the inside linebacker position is a liability generally. But there's no getting around it. It's just unacceptable to blow these leads this way. It seems to me generally they have older guys that are past their prime, or they have young guys who are just trying to figure things out. And as I said earlier, the inside linebacker position is probably a combination of that. Bynes being past his prime, Queen figuring it out. I think the coaches on the defensive side of the ball and the head coach have to adopt a buck stops here mentality. They have to fix this. That's on them to fix this. You have to have faith that this defense can stop another team from scoring, not just scoring, but scoring a touchdown in key moments of the game. To be fair, the defense did have a good game plan for stopping the running back for the other team, who's a very good running back, and they were largely successful in doing that. And that's encouraging to see. And it's possible that this all goes away when you get more pressure on the quarterback via the return of Bowser, Houston. I don't even want to say Ojabo. I liked him coming out, but we'll have to wait and see whether he's going to have an effect on the team. It was good to see Travis Jones get a sack today. And also, to be fair to the defense, the offense didn't put him in great position at times. Getting into the offense a little bit, Kenyon Drake was probably the player of the game today. Flashed enough to give Ravens fans hope that he can be a playmaker moving forward. Did a good job seeing the holes, getting into the hole quickly, and picking up yards after contact on occasion. Really nice run on the plus side of the field where he bounced and made something out of nothing. So he played well today. I thought the offense looked lost today in general. The penalties were a major, major issue. But there seemed to be a lack of direction, and you may put that to the coordinator if you wish. Outside of Kenyon Drake, there's just a ton of blame to go around. We talked about earlier about there not being weapons outside for Lamar Jackson. But his decision-making today was poor, very poor at times. I don't think that he's played well or consistently well for 3 weeks now. Really flashed and played great in crunch time last week. Put the team on his shoulders. He did do that. And he played great down the stretch in that game, but he was not consistent through the game. Didn't perform particularly well versus Buffalo. And this game, there's really not much that needs to be said about this game. He did not look like the Lamar Jackson that we've seen early in the season at all. The rest of the guys on the team did not do him any favors. Andrews, great player. Top 3, right? He's a star tight end in the league. But he had at least one drop today, a key one, I thought. Now, I'm not sure he would have scored or picked up a first down, but it's possible. You tell me if he had more than one drop today. I really couldn't tell on the broadcast, but there were a couple instances where it looked like he could have made a play on the football. One for sure. And that may seem nitpicking on Mark, but Mark's dropped 3 balls, at least 3 balls this year so far. As great as he played and as great as he is, you can't have drops, especially with the lack of weapons outside. And that puts a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson, puts a lot of on Mark Andrews, but you can't make mistakes. There did not seem to be any particular creativity in the play calling. I'm not saying the play calling was poor, but it didn't seem to have the design flash, perhaps, that we've seen in the last few weeks out of Greg Roman. All that stuff comes down to execution. I didn't think any of the coaches had a good day today. Give credit to the Giants. They played well. Pass protection at times was shoddy. 1 or 2 times come to mind where they had a difficulty picking up stunts, and Lamar was either sacked, hit, or had to leave the pocket prematurely. Perhaps you could point to the tight ends overall as having a good day or a decent day. Oliver seems to be playing better and better each week, blocking better and better each week. Got a bunch of notes through the game. I'm not sure I want to get into them or that they matter all that much. Give me your comments, what you thought. Thanks for listening.